So it's something we all love to do. Taking photos while traveling just go hand in hand. But you're wondering why your photos aren't turning out like everyone else's? Well, I'm gonna give you 5 tips to improving your photography so that your travel photos look just as incredible. All right, so first things first, the first thing you should be doing to your photos to make them look more professional is by adding movement. What do I mean by this? I mean flip your hair, kick the water, throw some sand, drop sand, anything to give a little bit more something to that photo. Believe me, it's not that hard, it's so much fun, and it's gonna make your photos look amazing. Do you know what this represents? Yes, it's changing angles. So when people first buy a camera, they always shoot everything from eye level. But if you really want to woo your audience, then change up the angles. Be creative. Get low, shoot high. Get high, shoot low. Shoot from the hip. By changing up your perspective, you'll give a huge new dynamic to your photo. I didn't really realize this chair is soaking wet before I sat on it. I'm ready to get off it. Okay, so another thing you could do to your travel photos to make them more interesting is by adding foreground. What this means is basically you'll have 3 dimensions to your photo. You'll have the foreground, the mid, and then the back. In the foreground, that could be like a rock or a leaf or plants or something. Then you'll have midground, which will be your subject. And then the background, which will be the attraction that you're at, whether it's a waterfall, a lake, or if you're at some sort of beautiful destination. Add foreground and your photos will look awesome. Okay, if you're gonna take one of these tips and only remember one of them, it's going to be to add story. Story is so important because it'll have the viewer looking at your photo longer. So use props, get creative, and add a story to your photos. Whether you're camping, you're at a waterfall, a lot of the times when I have nothing that I could really think of, I'll just grab my camera. Just having that one prop gives it so much more. Like, oh, she's taking photos in this cool place. Adds a story. Sometimes the little things really help. Having a coffee while watching a view, just little things like that can really improve your travel photos. All right, so the last tip I have for you today to improve your travel photos is to actually do different poses. So the same goes for when you're just shooting from eye level. It gets kind of boring, and if you're always constantly just standing in front of something like this, then it does get boring as well. So this is like maybe the hardest thing for me when I started off with doing photography, was getting comfortable doing different poses, and especially when you are in front of other people. But you know what? Just have no shame. Don't care about what other people think. Do a cool pose. I personally don't go for like really sexy poses. That's not my style. I like to look more on the badass kind of side. So some of my go-to poses are kind of like kneeling down, sitting or standing or running or walking or twirling or something. But I always want to kind of give off a sense of like having fun or like looking badass more than I go for the looking sexy. But whatever is your thing, if you want to look sexy, whether you're a guy or a girl, doesn't matter. Do your thing, have fun with it, do poses, don't care what other people think. Oh, of course, it just opens. All right, guys, I hope you learned something today on my video, and I'm really stoked for you to get out there and take photos. And to be honest, the only way to really improve your travel photography is just by going out and taking as many photos as you can. So don't stress about it. You know, you're gonna be pro one day. We all get there. It's just the amount of time we put in. So go out, shoot, have fun, enjoy your travels, be safe. And if you want to see some of my travel photos, then you can check me out on my Instagram. And if you want to connect with me, that's probably the best way as well. And take care. Another wet seat, but the seat is also wet.